don't know if there's enough light to see this, but dinner tonight is barbecue beef that I just cooked in the Instant Pot with stew meat and a bottle of homemade barbecue sauce and a little coconut aminos. And then corn from the freezer with green onion from the freezer, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes, and then some salad. And the gluten people are gonna eat rolls, and I'm making myself some cauliflower gnocchi to serve with that beautiful sauce. It was such a beautiful dinner, it felt like recording it. We have a little bit of the beef, barbecue beef left over. So I just sliced up an onion, chopped a couple carrots, and then this is gonna go in my freezer bag for the stock. I'm just gonna add this to the beef and barbecue sauce that's cooking down. You would certainly get a better flavor profile if you were to saute these onions and carrots first. I just didn't think of it. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I was thinking I might reduce this sauce a little bit. It got pretty watery. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a couple hours actually on the stove, and then maybe add some kale. Just see what happens. And as my barbecue beef and onions and carrots cook, I am prepping another meal for another time. These are mung beans that are soaking in some vinegar. And if you've never tried mung beans, they're like, to me, they're like the most neutral food you can possibly eat. If you're just feeling off or low in health, just make mung beans. You can just eat them with rice, a little bit of coconut aminos. They're delicious. They're neutral. All right, I've got some ginger that was going moldy. I'm gonna do cinnamon for warming, like some winter warmth. The onions that I'm still working through, and then the honey nut squash is starting to all turn. It's all going bad, so it's either gonna end up with the chicken or I've got to cook it up. So I'm thinking this will be the base for the stew. Now it's 10:25 in the morning, and I'm just getting all of this going. We'll probably eat this for lunch, and then the mung bean stew will most likely be a dinner for tomorrow. I'm either going to just make up some rosemary french fries and serve it over the french fries, almost like a poutine. I'll like thicken the sauce, or I'll make up some like pasta, gluten-free pasta, and serve it with that. I haven't decided yet. Let's see where we're headed. And then with the mung bean stew, I will definitely bake some fresh bread or biscuits, probably biscuits, to serve alongside of that. Maybe some raw cheddar cheese, some jams, things like that. I'm trying to find a measuring tape, and wouldn't you think in a room that looks like this that you'd be able to find a measuring tape really easily? I can't find one. My one thing today is going to be cleaning out one drawer and possibly ordering... Ooh, is that a measuring tape? That might be a measuring tape. I don't even know how it comes off yet. Okay, measuring tape. I'm going to measure the drawer and possibly order some dividers for the drawer. So let's go do that. And this is my personal nightmare, this drawer. So it looks like it's about 18 by 22. I'm thinking the one thing might actually be just getting that measured and ordering the dividers, and then maybe just doing a preliminary go through to see anything I could get rid of. But I'm not gonna empty it today without the dividers because I don't want to be able to not put it back together. So I think my one thing is just to accomplish that. Measuring that is a big deal. Oh, it's like a kitty plaything in there. All the kitty toys. So many kitty toys. You can see it didn't end up being that much squash. These are tiny little butternuts, but they, I'm only using the top of them, and one of them was just too bad I couldn't use it. I'm probably gonna try to just roast these, cook those up, the bottoms, and do something else with those. And then the chicken is just getting all of this. So the chicken wins that round. Ginger, I'll slice up these onions, and then I'm just gonna get that all cooking up. I'm not gonna add the mung beans till tomorrow. I'm just gonna get this main part of the stew going now. I have some celery I could use, and I have some daikon radish. I might put that in there too. I was walking by looking at all the things the cat got into overnight. Paper, sheepskin, and then I saw my amaryllis. Oh my, look at her. This is like a pink and white striped amaryllis. These were the $2 amaryllis bulbs I got on sale that I wasn't sure if they would bloom this year or not. The trick to cast iron is high heat. So you want to turn it up really high, get your oil in there, but then you need to remember to turn it down so you don't want to burn your oil. All right, so it's a nice hot pan. If you put your hand here and it's like, ooh, that's when it's time to add things. And then turn it down, okay? So, one-handed. Okay, there's a lot going on over here now. So I turned that heat down now, but it's still sizzling because the pan was nice and hot and the oil was nice and hot. And I'm just gonna cook these onions down for a minute, and then I'll add the ginger and the garlic. At nice high heat, the oil, whatever you're using, the fat to coat the pot, the pan, the pot, whatever you're using. And then, like, you can make scrambled eggs and an omelet and it will not stick. It will not stick. And then your cast iron is basically clean at the end of it. You just give it a wipe out, add a little more oil. Some people rub it with salt, and it's good to go. I added 3 huge cloves of garlic and that little nub, a couple inches of ginger. I've been known to add fresh garlic and ginger and then also add powdered garlic and ginger just to like layer and layer and layer the flavors. I do not want any of this to burn. I just want it a nice, soft saute. I'm going to do salt and pepper. I'm going to attempt to do it with one hand. This is my seasoned salt. So there's just some herbs and garlic and stuff in there. And pepper. Remember, there's a lot more going in there, so that's obviously way too much salt and pepper for just onions and garlic. But we're going to have beans and squash, and who knows what else will go in there. Who knows? All right, now at this point, before I add the squash, I do want my cinnamon to just cook in the oil just for a minute. Probably about a teaspoon of cinnamon, maybe half a teaspoon, not sure. We'll call that a half teaspoon, and then add a little more. I think I want about a teaspoon. I do want the cinnamon to kind of pop through this stew. I decided to go ahead and layer a little bit of garlic powder and and powdered ginger in here because I am looking for a very sort of spicy stew. All right, I'm going to cook that for a minute, then add the squash. Splash of coconut aminos, just to kind of pull any flavors off the bottom. And then I'll just get my squash in there. And then some broth. just to cover for now. I can always add more, and probably will when the beans go in. And that's it. I'm gonna put the cover on it, cook this on low, and just let it sit for most of the day. In other news, the fries won, and these are frozen rosemary fries. They're gonna go in the oven right now. And look how thick and beautiful that is. It's gonna be a good lunch, brunch, lunch. Beautiful lunch, rosemary fries, a nice thick beef barbecue with carrot and an onion and a little aioli on the top. So this is all I'm gonna do to this today. And then I'm going to just turn this off, let it sit overnight. I can move this into our sun porch, which acts like a refrigerator. And then I can just heat it back up tomorrow and then add the mung beans and probably some coconut cream and then figure out if it needs anything else. That lunch was so good. It was so good. It was like a BBQ Poutine with aioli on top. It was delicious. All right, so my dinner is prepped for tomorrow night. And my one thing today was working on that drawer. And really it's just about, I'm just gonna run out to a store and see if I can find those dividers. And if I can, then I'll be able to finish that project in the morning, which would be absolutely wonderful. Spend the rest of the day writing for Sacred Roots, and the sun's coming out, which is amazing. I have to go pick up a can of paint. I have to go pick up my daughter from the train station, and I know there's, oh, and dog food. I have to get dog food. So hopefully in there somewhere I can find those dividers. All right, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.